Hello grooming lovers! In today's video we groomed this Hungarian poly male that was so hard to catch. He was aggressive and he did not want to get inside of the cage when he put the food in. I tried catching him with a leash, but it was not successful, and I realized that I have to buy a net for this type of dogs. And before we start the groom, I just have one request. We created a new YouTube channel. It's called True or Fake Rescue, and I'm expecting this video to have at least 100,000 views. And if every 1,000 people watching this video subscribe to that channel, that is going to be in the description of this video, and check it out, it's going to mean a lot to us, so please consider that. Okay, we arrived at the veterinarian, and the veterinarian sedated the dog. We could not groom this dog anyway different, because he was so aggressive. It was very hard to even catch him. We tried putting food inside the cage, but he just wouldn't come in. We tried catching him with the leash, but he acted very aggressively. At the end, he got to one place in the yard, in the corner, and we put the cage near him, and eventually he didn't have to. He could not go anywhere else. So he got in the cage, but he was very angry about it. And I'm going to start the groom. I'm going to groom around the head. My friend is just telling me to check if I turn on the camera. Yes. I'm going to start with the face. Normally I start with the dog's back and do the face at the end, but this time I'm going to do the head now at the beginning. And you can see that this dog is terribly matted. He was not groomed for at least 2 years, I would say. Now I'm grooming his ear. So you need to get your dog used to grooming when they are little. The first grooming should be when the dog is like few months old, but the grooming and getting dog used to grooming does not start in the salon, it starts in your home. When you're getting your dog used to brushing and combing, because when they're used to brushing and combing, a lot of the dogs will dislike that, but when you got them used to having to deal with what they don't like because it's good for them, when you do that while they're young, you're not going to have problems later. But if you wait for them to have half a year, 1 year, it's going to be much harder. Some dogs, it depends on the dog a lot. Some dogs got used to things quicker, some dogs learn slower. Some dogs really don't like grooming. Some dogs just don't mind. But every dog needs training. How much does dog need training? It depends on the dog. And it depends on what do you want to teach your dog. Do you only want to teach them to walk on the leash, to not to pee and poop in the house, and not to be aggressive with the groomer? Or do you want to teach them to do tricks and stuff like that? I'm going to pluck this hair out. The hair from the ear canal needs to be plucked out, not scissored, not shaved, because when the ear canal is full of hair, the air cannot flow through the ear, it can get infected. So this groom is going pretty easy and pretty fast. Some of you wrote that they miss groomings in the salon because then I bathe the dog. Then it's probably more interesting to you guys. And I also prefer grooming in the salon, but sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes, especially with the dogs neglected like this, it's hard to groom them even now when they're sedated and they're not moving. And it can only understand how hard it is to groom them while they're just moving around trying to bite you. It's not the only problem that they're trying to bite you. You can put a muzzle in some cases, but they also move a lot and you can injure the dog. Okay, I'm going to spray this blade. It got a little warm. finish this ear. The ears were not that bad. So we groom a lot of dogs here, and the veterinarian under the sedation, but it's being done by a professional. The dog is in good hands, and that is the most important thing. Of course, we also worry about our safety. We don't want to get bitten. And don't forget that this groom would be very extremely stressful for the dog if the dog was not sedated. Let's groom this area, the dirtiest area. My friend just loves this area and helping me around the dog's butt. He's just pretending. Okay, I changed the battery of the camera, and the veterinarian came to add a little more sedation and a little more sedative, and to check the dog everything is okay and I can proceed. So guys, thank you so much for the support, for all the best, all the wishes, all the good wishes and words about Sanja and I getting a daughter, and for asking how they are. I'm going to tell you they are great. Nadja is growing. Sanja is doing very good. Everything is just fine. Tak jesu. Can't change the blade. This one got a little warm. See, my lazy friend is finally doing something. Okay, I'm going to groom the tail. You can see it's very matted. And I always use this trick. I use scissors. And you have to be careful. You don't want to injure the tail. The tail is very hard to heal because the dogs are moving them all the time. I always want to see the end of the scissors before cutting. Okay, so this part is done. I'm going to do this area as much as I can before we turn the dog on the other side. Again, this is the best, the safest method of dealing with these neglected dogs. So the nails on the back legs are fine, they don't need to be trimmed, and very often the nails on the back legs are not that long like on front legs, but I think that because this dog lives in the yard, he's outside all the time, that is why the nails are fine, because he spends his nails. I'm going to turn the dog on the other side. Okay, we move the dog on the other side, and I'm going to shave this side. And guys, Hungarian pulleys are the breed that you can see it gets on our videos the most often, and I said it before, I said it a lot of times. It's because there are a lot of villages in our country that a lot of Hungarian people live in. You know, Serbia has a border with Hungary. We are neighbors, and these people like having Hungarian pulleys because, you know, it's their national breed, and that's why there are a lot of Hungarian pulleys in my country, and they get matted a lot because people think that it's okay groom them once a year. You can tell them anything you want, they're still going to believe that this is fine, but it's not. So the awareness about that is growing, but it is growing very slowly. And a lot of the people think that they should just let the hair grow, and that is fine because the hair will form into dreads, and Hungarian police show haircut is with dreads. But if you want to maintain those dreads clean and not let the hair tangle in big mats full of dirt, mud, poop and everything, you have to go to groomer that knows how to form these dreads. But people think that they should just let the hair grow. It's like, imagine when someone who has curly hair, imagine having very long hair and not brushing it and hoping that it will form into dreads like you see on Bob Marley. and that would never happen. That would never happen. And then the dogs get very matted, then it gets painful, very uncomfortable. On summer they're very warm. On winter it gets, not only on winter but when it's raining, it gets soaked with tons of water. The coat gets heavy, so the pain is and discomfort is there always. So don't let your dog get in this type of condition. If you already did it, ask for help, like these people's neighbors did. Okay, there's some final touches. The veterinarian just walked in. And everything is good with the dog. Just a little final touches and he's going to give him something to wake up, and we're going to put him in the cage, and my friend is going to drive him back. It's almost 8 p.m. So it's going to be 1.5 hour driving back to them. Yes, actually we're going to take the dog back to the owner. I don't like that. I don't think that these people treated the dog with enough care, but it's very hard to now take this dog and get into a temporary home with other dogs because this dog is so aggressive. And there, in their place with the owner, they have a yard. When they are happy beside of not being groomed for that long, and the owner also does not want to give the dog away, and sometimes it is the only solution to give the dog back and hope that they will take more care of the dog. Now they need to find a better way to approach the dog, to touch him more, to touch him with the brush more, to show the dog scissors and get the dog used to everything. They said that they will do it. I really hope that they will, but this type of dog would be hard to adopt because he is aggressive. He would have to go through a lot to work, and maybe he will change. We often adopt dogs in families with other dogs, with children, and it's hard to risk that. We also adopt dogs to people that have children, that have other dogs. We also sometimes adopt dogs to people that have cats, and this dog is also not that young. The older they are, it's hard to change them. So we know that he's going to be happy where he lived now, and he does not have this here. And I know that this is not a perfect solution, but currently it's the best we can do. Okay, this guy is done, and the veterinarian is going to come inside soon to give him something to wake him up. And that's it. Again, it's not the perfect solution to drive him back. I know that in some countries that would not be the case, but in my country, where these type of cases are very often, when you cannot just report this case and someone will go and authorities are going to take the dog away and put him in some great dog shelters, because dog shelters in my country are not so great, trust me. Sometimes we manage to talk the owner into giving the dog to us, and we try to train the dog, try to make him not aggressive and make him good enough to have a family, but sometimes it's just very hard. That's it. I hope that you understand all of that. I didn't want to lie to you. And my friend is going to drive him back, and we'll see you soon. We're going to keep in touch with the owner, and if the hair grows back again, at least give this dog another free grooming in some next period, not wait for the hair to grow this long and get this matted. At least give him once or twice a year free groom. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.